offense side, but on your defensive side, obviously there were lots of scuffles early. Is that something you don't love to see, or is that okay? It's just going to happen?
I mean, I don't want it because we just have a rule, both sides, if you throw a punch, you're out. So I think we got 2 guys thrown out. I'm not sure. I just got told 2. And I don't know if that's accurate, but I mean, you don't really care about scuffles. You just hate losing guys. And the player loses all the reps for the day, and then your position's down for the whole day. So that usually can be a chain reaction to other guys. So that's why we don't want that to happen. But you expect a lot of it, but don't want any punches thrown.
You value these joint practices. Just on your initial impression after things settled in, did it seem like the kind of work you were hoping to get?
Yeah, it's always different going against a different team because you're used to how you do things. So anytime you see something that's different or a guy's doing something different, everyone gets a little sensitive about it. But for the most part, I know the way Salah does things and the way we do are very similar. So I thought it was pretty easy transition for us there. And it gets really old going against the same stuff every day and the same people every day. So it's a little more fun going against other people, and it'll be a little more fun watching tape here in a half hour.
Any of your top running backs, how did you think your offense did against them?
I mean, I don't really totally evaluate it that way. We made a lot of plays out there. I thought we moved the ball well, but there's a number of plays that we didn't make. I love the 3 backs that we had throughout practice. Just, that's a small amount of numbers, so not even worrying about 1s, 2s, or 3s, just rotating them, trying to keep them fresh because the guys will be expected to play in the game here in 2 days also. So them just be able to get through it and get their assignments, respect to those guys for it.
Ways on how Brock played, and particularly looked pretty sharp towards the finish.
Yeah, usually Brock's a really good player, so I expect him to have good plays, so I notice all the bad plays, and I didn't notice many bad plays today, so I think he had a hell of a day.
Who were the players that you said who were kicked out? Or you were talking
I'm not sure. There's a couple guys on defense, but I got an idea, but I don't want to get one wrong.
You mentioned speaking to us the other day was a big step for you. Did you have any repercussions from that, or was it okay?
No, it was good. Yeah.
Do it more often
Yeah, more often. Yeah.
Anything,
Evaluating my health is somewhat embarrassing, and I think getting old to everybody, so don't take it personal. I'm trying not to anymore. I was messed up, and I'm getting a lot better. So.
Have you guys learned anything more about Nick Bosa and what he's dealing with right now?
Just soreness, tendonitis. It's a pretty normal thing with ACLs. Just talking to our guys, they say it happens to about 90% of the guys we've had. So it's a normal thing, and that's why we got to be smart here for week to week. But feeling no concerns about them being any more than that.
Kyle, when it comes to Christian, I know that it feels like this is a little bit more precautionary than anything else, but is there any concern that this is something that could linger this year?
No, my concern would be him toughing through tightness like a lot of people do, and then hurting something bad and pulling something, which then it could be a month. So that would be our concern. So once we hear him talking a certain way, Christian's a guy who needs to get prepared for week 1. But also we're pretty confident what he's done before this. We're confident what he's done in these 2 weeks, and we just want to make sure that we don't make it something to be concerned about.
The fact that he's been through this before, does that give you a little bit more just optimism that you have a plan in place, he has a plan in place?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think everybody goes through this. I mean, when you have vets who know how to get ready for week 1, and lots of guys have this stuff, and you need to push through it. He's not a guy who needs to do that, so it's pretty simple with us.
What did you see from Strickland today, and what have you seen from him?
It's been good to get him back. I mean, we were excited some of the stuff he did that first week, and then he had, some tightness and stuff similar to Christian, and we took him off for, I think, a week. And so I want to guess this was like his 4th day back. So I just love him getting the reps. Like we love his talent. We love the character and just how he plays. It's such a different situation than Christian. We need to get him ready to play an NFL game, and it takes a while for rookies to do that. That's why a lot aren't ready for week 1. So it's been really good to get him back. The way he attacks it each day, I think each day he's got better and better, and hopefully he doesn't have any injuries, so he can continue getting those days in for week 1. And if he does, feel real confident about him.
He accelerates well through the ball, through the cuts. Is that something you've noticed too?
Yeah, I think, getting in and out of cuts has to do with being able to run fast and break down and stuff. But I think quarterbacks really feel guys who have good hands. And when you have good hands, you can run through the football. A lot of guys, you got to tempo your stride and stuff to kind of absorb a ball a little bit. And when you do that, DBs can knock it out. So when you have a lot of confidence in your hands and you got a real good hand-eye and you're aggressive with it, and he trains that way. He's got the ability that way. And that's something we look for a lot in guys that we liked about him coming out.
The left guard battle between Jones and Colby. Did Jones do anything to kind of take a step forward in that battle? How do you kind of see that?
I think it's too early to say. There's definitely is a battle there. It's open for anybody. Those guys would probably be the lead at it. Love to get Carver in that too. Him missing a week or whatever it was with his concussion made him out of it a little bit, but he's been out 2 practices in a row. So it's still early. We want to see those guys in the games too, but it's definitely a battle for us to see who gets that spot.
Did you talk to Carver and Toth just about their concussions, and since you've endured it now?
I saw him in the hallway, said, I feel for you. But not much more than that. Those guys got a lot more experience with it, and also what I've learned is every single one's different. So you don't always want to act like it's the exact same thing. But
About the defensive changes, it definitely looks different. Did you bring Raheem intending for this defense to look considerably different going into the season?
No, the first thing was that, you want to, you always got to take a risk, when you hire people you haven't worked with or people you haven't gone against much. You can have an idea, but you really never know someone until you go through stuff with them. And I knew Raheem as a quality control for the 2 years I worked in Tampa, and was with them, I think, 2 of the 4 years in Washington, and then both of the years in Atlanta. So I always knew how good of a coach he was. And then, he started in Tampa too, ran real similar to what we did in Atlanta. And then when he took over for the Rams and I had to go against him, it was a completely different defense, which is really tough to go against. So the first thing I wanted to hire was the person. I do love that he has experience in a lot of different schemes, but it wasn't that I wanted to just change everything. I do think you have to evolve. I think you look at us last year with Saleh, we evolved a lot. And did some things that he had done for the first time that he hadn't done, or we hadn't done in the previous 8 years. Raheem has experience with all of it. And I do think in this league with the way people know how to attack schemes and stuff, and you're not always going to, with injuries or just, you don't always have better players than the people you're going against. And when that does happen, you got to change schemes up. And we want the option to do both. Raheem has that experience, and I don't look at it as we're going to be totally different. But I love that we have the ability to be different.
Kyle, how would you describe what a Robert Saleh-led team looks like and feels like?
Saleh, as you guys know, coach, I respect a ton. When it starts with his defense, you know how sound it's going to be. Saleh's not going to put something in that he doesn't believe is sound versus everything. So it's going to be very disciplined. It takes a little bit of time to get the guys that elite at it. So he's going to do it over and over again. And I can see they're already way ahead of schedule. They've really competed today, and they definitely have a real good coach.
Plan for playing time for Thursday?
We have, but we haven't told any of the players yet. So there won't be many starters playing. We'll see with injuries today and stuff, and that doesn't mean none. But we got to balance that out. But we haven't told the players yet, so wait till we do that with them this afternoon.
That was my question.
Oh, there you go.
I think some of your DBs have been pretty clear that they really appreciate Raheem's scheme and what he's telling them, and a couple of them is more so than they've ever been. They're being told to just play football. Maybe they didn't love the scheme line. How do you take those comments?
I don't know about them till I just read Tig's quote right here on the way in, so I get the question. Knowing our guys, I don't take that as negative or anything. I think we've had one of the best schemes of football for a long time, and I think we played really good defense here for a long time. And so I don't think it means it that way. But there's different styles to how you run coverages. And I want to have some bend but don't break, where you just stay on top and you never give up the go route, and you expect linebackers to defend a lot of things all between the numbers. And we've done that at a very high level, and we've had some of the best linebackers to me that I've ever seen be able to do that. But sometimes you blitz those guys, sometimes you get guys hurt and they're not there. And when that happens, you need more corners to stop plays. And I think that's something that Raheem's very used to. He majors in the secondary, where Saleh majored more in linebacker play. To be a good coordinator, you have to know all three levels, and they both do. But it's cool. I think those guys hear some different coaching points, and that's everyone. There's pluses and minuses to everything. but I think it's cool for those guys to hear some different coaching points that weren't as relevant at sometimes in other schemes, and that makes it a little bit more fun for guys. But sometimes having to stop too much isn't always fun either, and sometimes you want to chill and have someone else stop it, so it goes both ways.
We made a lot of plays today. How have you seen his confidence grow as he's learned the playbook?
Who's that?
And Stribling.
The more he's out there, the more he'll get confident. Like I was just saying earlier, like we truly believe he's made of the right stuff. We know his ability, and now it's about him going through a lot of situations that he hasn't been through that I expect him to fail out a number of times in practice. But he's good enough and made of the right stuff that he'll eventually start getting through it. You've seen a lot of those today, and hopefully we can keep doing that more and more. So he's ready in week 1, and it won't stop there. There'll be up and downs throughout the whole year. But that's why we try to generate as much as possible in practice.
How much adjustment do you have to make in terms of preparing for the season when Kyle Juszczyk is not there, given he's kind of singular in terms of the position he plays for you guys?
Not really any at all. We have other guys because Juice has done an awesome job staying healthy, so it doesn't happen much. But Jake Tonjes can do that stuff. We've had Luke Farrell do that stuff. We've had Kittle do some of that stuff. Sometimes we give Debo the ball, and we've had Christian do some of that stuff. So guys all have to do it, but Juice is very similar to what we said about Christian. When guys prepare the right way, and they've been through this so long as they're prepared the right way and not counting on camp to get them in shape, sometimes it can be somewhat of a benefit for those guys to get some things that keep him out that don't allow him to get hurt worse when it's he's got a frustrating thing like I do right here that's nothing, but it's just annoying for him. But I think it maybe help him in the long run.
They made some plays today. What are your thoughts on their tight ends this camp so far?
I thought they've done a real good job. I think I think they've all, the guys that we've had here in the past, guys like Braden, Jake, Luke, I think all of them look better than what they were last year. And I was happy with them last year, but you're always getting better or worse. And I think they've taken the cut-ups, they've taken the off-season, and I think they've all improved in the pass game and the run game. It's nice for them to get more opportunities without Kittle out there. And then I love all the new guys we brought in too. We've had some good competition there, and it's always tough when you're missing a guy like George, and then you miss a guy like Juice, which, as Juice will let you know, he still was playing the tight end position also. So those guys are down 2 spots of key contributors, which gives them a chance to do more and more, and they've been ready for that, conditioning-wise, and that's why I think they're all getting better.
Brett Salas said that you're like a creative player, and that was his compliment to you. What was it like to see him back out there?
It's great to see him. He's trying to butter me up, make me feel good, so I go easier on him. But I'm happy for him, his opportunity, all the times that we've shared together. I'm indebted to Saleh and everything that he's given me. So I'm excited for his opportunity with their team.
The way you guys came out, like 3 scuffles in the first 6 plays, was that a calculated thing to kind of let the Titans know that they're on your turf?
No, I promise. Like we're not trying to fight and do all this other stuff. Like we're trying to play football, and that's what I had to try to tell the guys early on. I brought everybody together and told them we're not going to get through today if we continue on this path. We got to play football, right? If you end up on the ground, then that means you didn't win your rep, right? And you got to run it back. So, I think we kind of found our groove a little bit after some of that fiery business going on in the beginning. But you got to watch the tape to really see how it was.
Your first sort of rough stuff since your injury. How did you feel today out there?
I felt great. I think it was good to just finally just be going against another jersey because all camp you talk about protect the team. Just wanting to keep guys healthy, but then you finally get an opportunity to play real football. You're still not taking guys to the ground per se, but it's going to bring another level of all right, let's see who can really make a thud tackle in the flat, or in a hole, strike shed, and really just play more actual football. So it was fun to just get out there and get better.
What did you see from your teammates in that regard? Tackling in the flat, things like that today?
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? And when you're in the heat of it, especially when you're on the field, I definitely don't know. I don't know what it feels like because I'm too busy trying to focus on what I'm doing. But it felt like, we definitely have some things to work on. I think Thursday is going to be a really great opportunity for a lot of young guys who may have not had that opportunity to be in those positions to see what they got in a live action setting. But today was as close as that's going to get, right? So that's why I love joint practices, to really have an opportunity in a game-like setting to work on your craft and really see where your team's at. We got a long ways to go, and I think that's going to be the case all the way leading up to week 1. We're just trying to find how to be our best version of ourselves for when the time matters most.
Have you gotten enough time on the field with Jaden Duggar to form an impression yet early on in camp?
Absolutely. I love Jaden. I've never even called him Jaden, though. That was the first time I ever said his first name. He's just Doug to me. But, he has a skill set that's rare. The fact that he's, a true 6'5", long arms, can run like a deer, is not afraid of contact, right? He can play several different positions on the field. His retention of information, playing with instincts, I think those are all things that can get you, really excited about a player, but he is still a rookie, right? He makes rookie mistakes just like anybody in that position. But I think as a rookie, it's honestly just about being present, right? And just having the mindset of wanting to really continue to improve and get better every single day. You're not going to be a finished product, and everybody knows that. So, I think, like I said, Thursday is a really good opportunity for him and a lot of young guys to get in a game setting to see how you perform under the lights, right? And that's really what we all get graded on in this league is when you cut that tape on Sundays, or in this case Thursday, what do you look like? So
absorb all the positions he's learning right now as a rookie, and like in meeting rooms, is there something that stands out just about how he handles his business?
I wouldn't say necessarily in the meeting room because he is more of a quiet individual, but you see it just in the way that he plays. It's not too much for him, right? For a rookie to be asked to do, a lot of different things, play a lot of different positions, whether it's off the ball, whether it's on the ball, whether it's on the edge, where he's being asked to do a lot of things, and the fact that it's not too much for him, that's how you know that he's got a good feel of the game and been able to retain a lot of information. So I think he's done a great job thus far.
DBs, what have you liked from that group, particularly today? Would you focus on?
Yeah, I've loved our defensive back group. I don't know if I felt as confident about a back end group in my career as I have right now. And that's not even a knock on any teams that I played on before, but I think just the way that group is kind of meshing together, the way that they're playing sticky in coverage, playing the ball in the air, being able to play in the run game or ball thrown to the flat, the ability to tackle. I think it's one of the best I've seen thus far. I'm really excited about what I'm seeing, and we just got to continue to gel and mesh that thing together to where it's the best version, like I said, for when the time comes.
Raheem has talked a little bit about Brock's ability to layer the ball. I know you make it a point to get your hands on something you have in this camp. Just as the guy generally that is going to be the one who would be getting layered over, what is the frustration level of a quarterback who is capable of doing that as consistently as he is?
Frustration level, man, me and Brock have our battles every single day, and I love it, honestly. We're getting the best out of each other, where he'll layer a ball over or I get my hand on it, like you said, and that's honestly what camp is about. That's what this whole preseason before getting ready for week 1 is about, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to see a better guy at doing that than Brock Purdy when it comes to going into the season. And I don't know, you have to ask him if he's going to see somebody better at being able to be in those windows. But at the end of the day, it's all just trying to have iron sharpening iron every single day, right? So, I love the competition, and we're going to continue to work at it and develop the best team possible.
Over your hands. I mean, you have to be thinking as it's coming to you, you're going to have it though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm still waiting for that one to just beautifully land in my fingertips, but he makes me work for it. He's one of the best. He's the best in my mind, but that's another discussion for later.
Some drawing today with Cam Ward. It seemed pretty lively at times.
Yeah.
Is that calculated on your part to sort of ratchet up the intensity so that you're having a very intense practice?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all just in good, fun competition. I think Cam is one of the unique quarterbacks where he's not afraid to just sit there and play that game with you. Whether that's a positive or negative, I think that's still yet to be seen for their side. We'll see. But for me, I'm always trying to get the quarterback out of his game. And anytime I'm in that mode, that's only going to amplify my game, right? So I love joint practices, though. It's the best.
So, Brock, what do you mean by that? Are you saying, like, either he takes the high road or he gives it back, and that kind of determines his mindset to play this position?
What I mean is he is one of the few quarterbacks who will sit there in the pocket, like, I'm not actually in the pocket, but I'm saying like sit there and actually like get into that verbal back and forth, right? Where a lot of quarterbacks aren't really necessarily wanting to do that because they're so focused on wanting to just obviously just execute the offense. But some guys, they elevate their play too when they get into that. And I think he's probably one of those guys who he does elevate his play when he starts getting into that type of thing. But listen, that talking, at the end of the day, you got to go out there, you got to play football. And it's 11 on 11. It's not just me versus him, right? So there were situations where I wish I could say something to him, but then we're giving up a touchdown or something, right? And it's like it's a team game at the end of the day. You got to go out there, you got to play the game. All that talking is just, it's talk. Me and Brock had plenty of our conversations on the field.
Chris Herrick told us the other day that he thinks the guys really like playing for Raheem Morris and that he comes in and he builds culture. He's real positive. What's your takeaway? How does Raheem kind of win over the room and kind of earn his stripes with you guys?
I mean, there's not a whole lot of stripes to earn. You look at his pedigree, right? I mean, and what we're trying to do here, we say we're trying to win a championship. He's done that already, right? He's coached some of the best defenses in the NFL. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's really about connecting with the room, right? And I think he has a unique ability to kind of connect with each guy, you know, and really demanding the best out of you. And that's all you can ask for as a player, right? And so we keep trying to detail this thing up to make sure everybody's on the same page. And it's not a finished product by any means. I don't think it'll be a finished product even by week 1, right? It's a whole season thing. It's a full season thing, but you want to make sure that it's obviously humming for when you need it the most.
All right. Thank you, guys.
How has he been going in his second year?
Yeah, I love what I've seen from Nick. I think he continues to get better, which is what you can only ask for from a young guy, right? I mean, he has such a freakish ability in his body to just run through people. So when it's headed in the right direction, it's a scary sight. He just got to continue to keep staying on it, right, and be consistent, because that's the truest measure of performance in this league.
What about some of the good and bad things you saw today?
I think just going up against a different scheme. Obviously, like practice against Saleh and his scheme all last year and whatnot, but it was nice to switch it up. Go against those guys and their ones, and feeling the physicality, the violence from just another team, and then also being able to move the ball on them, kind of thing, and get some good reps with Debo, dribbling and stuff like that. I think for me was huge. D-Rob had a great day. Having the offensive line feel the run game and just the urgency with that, they did a great job. So I think that was good. Some stuff to work on is I guess for me, just feeling like how I have at practice the last couple of days. Like when I went up against a new defense for the first time this year, it's like still being aggressive and being quick in my reads and stuff. And so that's something that I'll watch the film and see where I was at today. But those are just my initial thoughts.
How big a step is it to see, we've all seen him dribbling in practice, and then to see him make some plays against another team? How big a step in your mind is that?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, obviously, like going up against our guys, I mean, it's starting NFL defense, and he's shown that time and time again. But it was cool just to, switch it up today, go up against different guys that we haven't played against, and see him make plays and, run our offense and be on time and do his job and things like that. So it was good. I know there was a couple routes that we could still talk about and whatnot, but it fires me up that we have stuff that we can keep getting better at. But he showed a lot of flashes and stuff today, so I was excited about it.
You hit him on one over the middle on a cross, and then Tonjes on the next play where you also Layer Kinged it over a linebacker. Did you hear Raheem Morris give you that nickname of the Layer King, and do you take that to heart that that's a great asset?
Yeah, I mean, he had told me, I guess, on the field that he said that to the media. And then our quarterback coach, Mick Lombardi, he doesn't like the word layer. He thinks everything should be driven and you throw the appropriate ball. So I can't really say anything about the layered ball, but yeah, it's cool that Raheem notices that and stuff like that. So I guess it's a part of my game, but obviously I like to think I can make any throw on the field, not just that one. But yeah.
You mentioned D-Rob. He did have a pretty big day today. What makes him such a good receiver? It seems like he's had a lot of success in his career in the red zone.
Yeah, he's I think he's just one of the best receivers that I've played with in terms of the one-on-one matchup and his feel for the game, and we'll have something drawn up like, hey, the receiver needs to get this many steps and be here on time. But sometimes there's situations where you cut it off short, or you push up into a guy a little bit longer and then get out of the cut. Like, he has a good feel for the game when it comes to that. He's played for a while. He's got a lot of savviness to him. And then obviously in the red zone and stuff, like, he's got length. He's got just the ability to go up and get the ball. So, obviously I learned a lot about him last year, but, this offseason and stuff, watching film on him, it's like, all right, we can give this guy more ops and have him be a huge part of our offense. So he's had a great camp. He's been out there every day, showing up, making plays and catches. Today against the Titans too, same thing. So I'm really excited for him.
Last time you were in here, you talked about just with Kyle's situation, that if need be, you wanted to make sure you could step up and be the guy, the voice that everyone hear and all that kind of stuff. How would you just assess this camp for you, not only in terms of performance, but in the way that you've maybe had to, take on a little bit more in terms of leadership or whatever, however you view it?
Yeah. Obviously with Kyle being out and stuff, like you could feel Kyle out there as a coach when practice is slow, when guys aren't on top of things. Like, he's a voice and a presence. Obviously he's the head ball coach, but he will bring us together sometimes. Be like, dude, we need these next two periods, and we need to be on it. We need to bring it. And so I think when he's been gone and stuff, I've had a couple opportunities just to be able to, I guess, use my voice and just my actions with the guys on offense, and just being able to pick guys up and also hold some guys accountable with things at the right time. And I think just hearing guys in the locker room and stuff, like, they like that, they feed off it, knowing that we care. It's not just to go out there and rip guys, but I care so much that, all these little things matter, and they show up in the season at some point. And so I think for me, just being able to take that next step, especially with Kyle being gone, like, being a voice out there for the guys, get guys going, get them moving, getting in and out of the huddle, picking up the tempo. I feel like I've had to take that step this year with that, and it's been good.
How do you know when it's the right time, and how did you figure that out?
I mean, just at practice, the coaches have us playing situational things. It's third down, we don't get it, now it's fourth down, and the guy runs the wrong route, and it's like, dude, it's fourth down here, and I need you to be where you need to be, and I need to make the throw. And but also, like, hey, I'm gonna get on you, and it's not just to make an example. It's because I trust you and know that you can make that play. So let's get together and let's get it done. And I'm glad it's happening now at practice when it's 4th and 7, so that in season, when a game's on the line and we need to win, like, you're going to be there, and I'm going to make the throw for you, and all those kind of things. So, I mean, we're working those things out right now in camp, which is good.
You entered this offseason with specific things that you wanted to improve on. At this point in camp, how do you feel like where you're at with those things, especially now going against another defense?
Yeah, I think just like playing with urgency with my feet, having a good base, those are like the fundamental things. Mick, Clay, Kyle, and I had watched early in the offseason when we came back for OTAs. And I've been trying to hone in on that all offseason. And I think coming out to camp, like, it's just allowed me to play fast. It's allowed me to be on time with my throws and make any kind of throw with where I'm in the pocket, because I have a good base and my feet are good. So that's the one thing that comes to mind. There's some other things, but I feel like if I can just continue to do that, I can continue to take my game to the next level.
On your side, but did you notice what was going on the other field, or at least early on? And does that kind of get to up the motivation, up the whatever the intensity on your side when you see your defense kind of slugging it out at every other play on the other side? Yeah,
I mean, going into these kind of days, like, we have meetings before and stuff where Kyle's like, hey, protect the team, and it's about getting better and stuff. But, like, as players, we all know that, this is going to be a really high, competitive, intense kind of day. And so, yeah, at one point, we had a little scuffle going. I look over in the other field, they're scuffling, and I'm sitting back there with Christian McCaffrey, and we're like, dude, like, this happens. But at the end of the day, being smart, not trying to get hurt by punching a guy in a face mask or something like that. Like, try to be smart, protect the team. But, I mean, it is NFL football. They came all the way over here to practice against us, and I'm glad it was. You could feel the energy and stuff, and we all feed off that. But, yeah, I mean, it's a camp scrimmage for you.
How important has it been for Debo's able to be out there, especially in the run game with your top 4 guys out?
Yeah, it's been huge. Obviously, what Debo can do is awesome. He can run routes on the outside, the slot, come back in the backfield, run routes. He can run the ball from the backfield. So having him being able to, help out with the run game right now, just with our numbers and stuff at running back has been huge. And it's good for him too, to be able to come back into the system and get those reps and have him being able to read out a run and bounce back gaps and make cuts. So that's been good for him, but also it's been fun, like I said, having him back there to be able to run routes and have really good matchups. And, he's still explosive and still the same Debo that we know. And, made multiple plays today, even where if you get him the ball, man, he's gonna break tackles. Like if we're live, I was like, that's a broken tackle, that's a touchdown or whatever. He's a playmaker. So glad to have our guy back.
Do you want preseason reps in every game, or have you guys talked about that? How many series do you think you need in the preseason to prepare for week 1?
I mean, the last couple of years, it's been the last 2 games. I get a drive or 2, depending on the situations, and just try to, have that mindset of getting ready for a game, getting in pads, getting hit. But also, you want to be smart and safe and get to the regular season healthy. So those are things that, we'll talk about and whatnot. But I do think it's big, just in terms of getting a feel for an NFL game. And so that's what we've done in the past. We haven't really talked about anything yet. I'm sure we will soon, but I guess we'll see.
You've outlined in the past the importance of the timing component with your receivers, especially with Strib, a young guy that you're still kind of getting to know that in that way. How has he been, early on, and how has that progressed for you too?
For his timing purposes? Yeah, like I've said, he's a really smart dude. He gets the game of football. Sometimes guys come in and they're talented and stuff, but to understand the speed of the NFL and how defenses operate in the NFL, it can be hard for guys to sort of get with it quick. Eventually, they get there, but Strib has been a guy that has come in and has shown he understands it. He understands leverages, he understands coverages and our concepts and stuff, and where he needs to be. And not only that, the effort and everything too. He's come in and run multiple routes and reps back after back, and then getting in the run game and blocking. So all of that for me as a quarterback, when I see that, I'm like, all right, dude, this guy's building my trust with him, and we've connected and made plays together too, and we just got to continue to talk and be on the same page and communicate moving forward. But I'm really excited for him. I've said that time and time again. It is preseason and everything, so I mean, we'll see once we get to the season, but right now I have a lot of trust in him.